You know, if you want your Korean to sound instantly more natural, there is one single grammar point you absolutely have to know. It's one of the most common connectors in the entire language, and today we're going to master it together.
So you can probably make simple sentences in Korean, right? But that next step, linking them together smoothly, that's the real challenge. How do you connect your ideas without sounding like a textbook? Well, the answer is way simpler than you might think. And trust me, it's a total game changer.
I'd like you to meet your new best friend in Korean, o-neun-de. This tiny little ending is an absolute powerhouse. You just attach it to the end of a phrase to connect it to the next one. Its real power, though, is how flexible it is. It can mean but, and, or even so. The magic is that it all just depends on the context. This right here is the key to making your Korean flow.
Now, you're probably thinking, a grammar point this powerful must be super complicated to use, right? But guess what? Nope, not at all. The rules for actually building it are incredibly straightforward. Let's break it all down. Okay, so the rules are actually really simple. For verbs, it's super easy. You just tack on eun-de right onto the stem. So 먹다 becomes 먹는데. For adjectives, it depends on the stem. If it ends in a consonant, you add eun-de. If it ends in a vowel, like in the word 예쁘다, you just add eun-de to make 예쁜데. And then we have nouns, which honestly are the easiest of the bunch. Just add in-de. So hak-saeng becomes hak-saeng-in-de. See? Super simple.
All right. Theory is one thing, but practice is really where you get the hang of it. So let's work through some real examples together. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to say each sentence 3 times, nice and slow. I really want you to listen to the pronunciation and then try repeating it out loud with me. You ready?
Okay, here we go with our first one. Just listen carefully to the sound of it. 비가 오는데 우산이 없어요. Let's hear that again a little slower. 비가 오는데 우산이 없어요. And one last time. 비가 오는데 우산이 없어요.
So, what does that mean? It's raining, but I don't have an umbrella. This is a perfect example of how eun-de shows contrast, kind of like saying but in English. The first part, it's raining, sets the scene. And the second part introduces the problem. I don't have an umbrella. Let's try another one.
All right, ready for the next one? Try to catch the rhythm of this sentence. 저는 학생인데 제 동생은 직장인이에요. Listen again. 저는 학생인데 제 동생은 직장인이에요. One more time. Maybe try saying it with me. 저는 학생인데 제 동생은 직장인이에요.
And once again, you can see that really clear contrast, right? We're comparing two different people. I'm a student is directly contrasted with my younger sibling is an office worker. And that little in-de connects them perfectly.
Let's move on to number 3. This one is all about contrasting 2 different times. Listen closely. 오늘은 바쁜데 내일은 한가해요. A little bit slower now. 오늘은 바쁜데 내일은 한가해요. And one final time. 오늘은 바쁜데 내일은 한가해요.
This is such a classic example. You're going to hear this and use this all the time. It contrasts today, when I'm busy, with tomorrow, when I'll be free. eun-de is the magic little connector that makes that comparison sound totally natural.
Let's try a sentence you might use when you're talking about food. Listen carefully. 맛있는데 조금 매워요. Again, 맛있는데 조금 매워요. And one more time. 맛있는데 조금 매워요.
Now this one's really interesting because it shows the nuance of this grammar point. It's not a huge, dramatic contrast. It's more like you're adding an extra piece of information. The food is delicious, and it's also a little spicy. It's a much softer, more subtle contrast.
Okay, for our last practice sentence, we're going to see a slightly different use of eun-de. Let's listen.
친구를 기다리는데 늦게 왔어요.
Again, just listen for the natural flow.
친구를 기다리는데 늦게 왔어요.
And for the last time.
친구를 기다리는데 늦게 왔어요.
So in this case, eun-de isn't really about a strong contrast. It's more about providing some background information. The first part, I was waiting for my friend, sets the stage for what happened next. They came late. It's like you're telling a little story. See how powerful this one connector really is? Fantastic work. You've done great so far. You've heard it, you've said it, and you know what it means. Now let's just lock all that in with a super quick review and one last drill to really make it stick for good.
So just to recap the most important stuff. Remember, eun-de is your go-to connector for showing contrast, giving some background info, or just smoothly changing the topic. It is absolutely essential for conversational Korean, and its meaning, whether it's but, and or so is always decided by the context of the conversation.
Okay, for this last drill, I want you to just relax and listen. That's it. No need to repeat it out loud this time, just let the sounds of these sentences really sink in. I'm going to go through all 5 of our examples twice. Just focus on that natural flow.
Ready? Here we go. 비가 오는데 우산이 없어요. 저는 학생인데 제 동생은 직장인이에요. 오늘은 바쁜데 내일은 한가해요. 맛있는데 조금 매워요. 친구를 기다리는데 늦게 왔어요. Good. Let's listen through one final time. 비가 오는데 우산이 없어요. 저는 학생인데 제 동생은 직장인이에요. 오늘은 바쁜데 내일은 한가해요. 맛있는데 조금 매워요. 친구를 기다리는데 늦게 왔어요.
And that's it. You've seriously just taken a massive step toward making your Korean sound way more natural and fluid. You've got the rules, and you've practiced the sounds, so the only question left is, what will you say with o-neun-de? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.